There was a farmer, and this farmer was a devotee of Shiva, and he was worshipping that form of Shiva which is referred to as Bholenath, that means the innocent one, the childlike one. One day, he had a bad crop. Then he called Shiva intensely. Because Shiva was Bholenath, he appeared. And he said, "Shiva, this is not good. You know nothing about farming, but you manage the rain, you manage the sunlight, and I get a bad crop. These are not your business. If you leave it in my hands, I will do it well and I will be an excellent farmer." Shiva being Bholenath, he said, "All right, you manage the sunlight, you manage the rain, you manage everything." So, the farmer, the next crop, he plowed his land, put the seed and said, "Rain." 10 minutes, the soil got wet, stopped. Sunlight came, too much sunlight, reduced. You know the remote switch? Like that he managed. And this crop of maize came up very well, really green and thick. He was very happy, and all the cobs came up. As it is the tradition among farmers who raise maize or corn, they'll go one day when it's all grown open and see how the grain has formed. He went, ripped it open and saw the cobs were all solid, the plants were standing bigger than ever, but within the cob there was no grain. Then again angrily he called Shiva. Shiva being Bholenath, he appeared. Then he said, "What have you done? There is no grain, there's only cob, there is no grain. What have you done, Shiva?" Shiva said, "What have I done? I gave everything in your hands. Well, it rained on time, sunlight came on time, everything happened, the plants grew well, but why there is no maize? Why there is no grain at all?" Then Shiva said, "If I can say something, I would have not only brought rain, I would have made the land go dry a little bit so that the roots will search a little deeper. Then I would have put some stress on the plant by blowing wind. Then the plant would root very well, and because of that, the grain would form. But now, you treated this whole crop like your pet, and it's looking pretty, but there is no grain, what can I do?" So, we've been doing this like this, our farming has become like this. Slowly, we have everything except nourishment. Nourishment values in the world have dropped significantly, and for this, humanity and every other life is paying a heavy price. Shiva is also known as the Pashupati, which means he is the lord of all living creatures. Within the soil and above the soil, all creatures are his. He is also known as Bhuteshwara, that means he is the lord of the 5 elements. It is between the 5 elements the organisms, the worms, insects, plants, trees, animals and human beings, the cycle of life happens. If you break any one link of this chain, the chain will fall apart, the entire chain. Any chain is only strong as its individual link. Right now, this is what we have done in our ignorance, that we are almost breaking the chain. Not the entire chain, just one link, but if you break one link, that is good enough, the chain falls apart. So, it is time we understand that the elements of earth, water, air, fire and space and every organism and life that exists here has a role in the making of who we are. Who we are is a reflection of the life that's happening within the soil. Even in terms of evolution, who we are is a consequence of what is beneath the soil. Time to pay attention to that. If we wish to have some mastery over our lives, I'm essentially talking about being able to live without concern, being able to live without fear and anxiety as to what will happen with your life. To be able to live life in some sense of abandon. What is most needed is stability, balance within yourself. When I say stability, well, you can think of a mountain or a rock, that is also stability. But stillness is the ultimate stability. If you become absolutely still at the core of who you are, or in other words, if you touch the core of who you are, you will naturally be still. In this stillness, there is absolute sense of stability. Once you're rooted in this stability of stillness, then you can play your life with absolute exuberance and abandon. You can love, laugh and live strongly without any sense of what about me, because when your foundations are rooted in stillness, there shall be no such concern. MahaShivRatri is that possibility that you're looking for on this night, that you want to touch that core within you, which is stillness.